Right now, as you're watching this, your brain is operating at multiple frequencies simultaneously. But what if I told you that by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to hack these frequencies to literally rewire your neural pathways for success, health, and abundance? Most people think frequency healing is just new age nonsense, but the science behind what actually happens in your brain when you listen to specific frequencies will shock you. We're talking about measurable changes in brainwave patterns, neurotransmitter production, and even physical alterations to your neural networks. Let's start with what's happening in your brain right this second. Your neurons are firing at different rates, creating electrical patterns we call brainwaves. These waves operate in 5 distinct categories, and here's where it gets interesting. Each frequency range corresponds to specific mental states and biological processes. Beta waves, running from 13 to 40 Hz, dominate when you're alert and focused. Like right now watching this video. Your prefrontal cortex is highly active, processing information and making decisions. But here's the problem. Most people spend too much time in high beta states, leading to anxiety, overthinking, and what scientists call neural inflammation. Alpha waves between 8 and 13 Hz represent your brain's sweet spot for learning and creativity. When you're in alpha, your neural networks communicate more efficiently. Blood flow increases to your prefrontal cortex, and your brain produces more of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which enhances memory formation and pattern recognition. Theta waves, from 4 to 8 Hz, are where the real magic happens. In theta states, your brain releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which literally grows new neural connections. This is why theta frequencies are so powerful for manifestation and subconscious reprogramming. Your critical mind goes offline, and your subconscious becomes highly receptive to new information. Delta waves, below 4 Hz, control your deepest healing processes. During delta states, your brain releases growth hormone, repairs damaged neurons, and consolidates long-term memories. Most people never reach deep delta states naturally, which is why they struggle with recovery and regeneration. Now, here's where external frequencies come into play, and this is backed by decades of neuroscience research. When your brain is exposed to specific sound frequencies, it exhibits what scientists call neural entrainment, or brainwave synchronization. This isn't theory, this is measurable science. EEG studies show that within minutes of listening to a 10 Hz tone, your brain waves begin synchronizing to that frequency. Your neurons literally start firing in rhythm with the external stimulus. It's like giving your brain a tuning fork. But the effects go far deeper than just brainwave changes. Different frequencies trigger specific neurochemical responses. Let me break down exactly what happens with the most researched healing frequencies. At 40 Hz, your brain produces gamma waves associated with heightened awareness and cognitive function. Neuroscience research shows that 40 Hz stimulation increases the production of neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals enhance focus, motivation, and what researchers call binding consciousness, your ability to integrate information across different brain regions. Studies at MIT found that 40 Hz light and sound therapy actually helps clear amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. The frequency activates microglia, your brain's immune cells, causing them to literally eat damaged proteins. This same mechanism may explain why people report improved mental clarity after listening to gamma frequencies. The famous 432 Hz frequency affects your brain differently than standard 440 Hz music. Research published in the Journal of Music Therapy found that 432 Hz music reduces cortisol production by up to 25% compared to 440 Hz. Lower cortisol means less stress-induced damage to your hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory formation and emotional regulation. Here's what's particularly fascinating. 432 Hz also increases alpha wave production in your right brain hemisphere. This creates what neuroscientists call whole brain coherence. synchronized activity between your logical left brain and creative right brain. In this state, you have access to both analytical thinking and intuitive insights simultaneously. The 528 Hz frequency, often called the love frequency, has been shown to increase oxytocin production. Oxytocin doesn't just make you feel good. It literally rewires your neural pathways related to trust, empathy, and social bonding. Japanese research found that listening to 528 Hz for just 9 minutes significantly reduced stress markers and increased feelings of well-being. But here's where it gets really interesting from a manifestation perspective. When your brain produces more oxytocin, it also increases neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections. This means you're literally more capable of developing new thought patterns and beliefs while listening to 528 Hz. The Schumann resonance at 783 Hz deserves special attention because it's the frequency of Earth's electromagnetic field. Your brain evolved surrounded by this frequency, which explains why it has such profound effects on your neural activity. When you listen to 7.83 Hz, your brain increases theta wave production, particularly in your hippocampus and amygdala. This reduces activity in your default mode network, the brain circuits associated with worry, rumination, and negative self-talk. Essentially, 7.83 Hz helps quiet your inner critic and opens your mind to new possibilities. NASA studies have shown that astronauts isolated from Earth's natural frequency suffer from depression, fatigue, and compromised immune function. When they're exposed to artificial Schumann generators, these symptoms disappear within hours. This suggests that 7.83 Hz is fundamental to optimal brain function. Now let's talk about what happens in your brain during longer exposure to healing frequencies. Within the first 5-10 minutes, you'll notice changes in brainwave patterns on an EEG. Your dominant frequency begins shifting toward the frequency you're hearing. After 15-20 minutes, neurotransmitter production changes become measurable. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline decrease, while feel-good chemicals like serotonin and dopamine increase. This is why people often report feeling relaxed yet energized after frequency sessions. But the real transformation happens with consistent exposure over weeks and months. Neuroplasticity research shows that repeated frequency exposure literally reshapes your neural networks. Brain scans of people who regularly listen to healing frequencies show increased gray matter density in areas associated with emotional regulation, memory, and executive function. Even more remarkable, frequency therapy appears to activate your brain's default healing mechanisms. Studies using fMRI scans show increased activity in your vagus nerve, the pathway between your brain and body that controls rest, digestion, and cellular repair. Here's a critical point most people miss. Timing matters enormously for frequency effectiveness. Your brain's receptivity to entrainment varies throughout the day based on your natural circadian rhythms. Morning sessions work best with higher frequencies like 40 Hz or 10 Hz because your cortisol levels are naturally elevated, and these frequencies can help channel that energy productively. Your prefrontal cortex is most active in the morning, making it the ideal time for frequencies that enhance focus and decision-making. Evening sessions should use lower frequencies like 6 Hz theta or 3 Hz delta because your brain is naturally preparing for sleep and recovery. Theta frequencies in the evening can help process the day's experiences and program your subconscious mind with positive intentions. The duration of exposure also affects your brain differently. Short 10 to 15-minute sessions primarily influence immediate brainwave states and neurotransmitter release. These are perfect for quick energy boosts or stress relief. Longer sessions of 45-60 minutes allow for deeper entrainment and more significant neuroplasticity changes. Extended exposure gives your brain time to fully synchronize and maintain the desired frequency state, leading to more lasting changes in neural pathways. But here's something crucial. Your brain can become habituated to specific frequencies if you use them too frequently. Just like your body adapts to exercise, your neurons adapt to repeated stimulation. This is why rotating between different frequencies and taking occasional breaks maximizes effectiveness. Research also shows that combining frequencies with specific activities amplifies the brain changes. Listening to alpha frequencies while visualizing your goals increases activity in your visual cortex and strengthens the neural pathways associated with those mental images. Theta frequencies combined with affirmations or meditation create what neuroscientists call hypnotic susceptibility, a state where your subconscious mind is maximally receptive to new programming. This is why theta sessions are so powerful for changing limiting beliefs and behavioral patterns. The quality of the frequency also matters more than most people realize. Pure sine waves create the cleanest entrainment response in your brain. Frequencies with harmonic distortion or background noise can actually interfere with neural synchronization. Binaural beats, where slightly different frequencies are played in each ear, force your brain to work harder to create the entrainment effect. Your brain has to calculate the difference between the two frequencies, which can be more engaging, but also more mentally taxing. Isochronic tones, which turn on and off rapidly, create stronger entrainment responses because they more closely mimic the way your neurons naturally fire. These are often more effective for people who have trouble relaxing or focusing during frequency sessions. Here's what you need to know about individual differences in frequency response. Your baseline brainwave patterns, age, and even genetic factors influence how quickly and strongly you'll respond to frequency entrainment. People with naturally high beta wave activity might need longer exposure times to achieve alpha or theta states. Those with depression often have reduced alpha wave production, so alpha frequencies can be particularly beneficial for improving mood and energy levels. Age affects frequency response because your brain's plasticity decreases over time. Younger people typically entrain to frequencies faster and maintain the effects longer. However, older adults often experience more dramatic improvements because they have more room for enhancement. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Can frequency listening actually create lasting changes in your life? The neuroscience suggests yes, but with important caveats. Brain imaging studies show that regular frequency therapy creates measurable improvements in emotional regulation, stress resilience, and cognitive function. These changes can absolutely impact your decision-making, creativity, and overall life satisfaction. However, frequency therapy works best when combined with conscious action and lifestyle changes. The improved brain states give you the neurological foundation for growth, but you still need to take advantage of those states through focused intention and consistent behavior. Think of healing frequencies as upgrading your brain's operating system. The upgrade gives you new capabilities, but you still need to learn how to use those capabilities effectively. The most successful people combine frequency therapy with meditation, goal setting, and deliberate practice in their chosen areas of improvement. The bottom line is this: when you listen to healing frequencies, you're not just hearing pleasant sounds. You're literally rewiring your brain at the cellular level. You're optimizing neurotransmitter production, enhancing neuroplasticity, and creating the neurological conditions for positive change. Every time you expose your brain to specific frequencies, you're participating in a measurable, scientifically documented process of neural transformation. Your brain waves synchronize, your brain chemistry optimizes, and your neural networks strengthen in ways that support your goals and well-being. The science is clear. Your brain is far more malleable and responsive than most people realize. Healing frequencies provide a direct, non-invasive way to influence your neural activity and create the brain states that support success, health, and happiness. Understanding what actually happens in your brain during frequency exposure empowers you to use these tools more effectively and with greater confidence in their scientific validity. You're not just hoping for results. You're engaging with a proven method for optimizing your most important organ, your brain.